Built to return. Adrian Kasongo stepped off the overcrowded bus with a single suitcase in his hand and dust clinging to the cuffs of his trousers. The engine coughed once more, then pulled away, leaving behind a cloud of red earth and silence that felt heavier than noise. The river greeted him before the village did. It was wide and slow, flowing with memories, moving with the kind of patience that made a man feel exposed. Adrian stood there longer than necessary, breathing it in, letting the sound steady him. The river had not rushed to meet him. It had not recoiled either. It simply was. "So you've come back," a voice said behind him. Adrian turned around toward the voice. Old Landu leaned on his walking stick, his back bent but his eyes sharp and awake. Time had thinned his hair, but not his presence. "I hear the city swallowed you and spat you back out." Adrian allowed himself a small, tired smile. "It happens." Old Landu clicked his tongue. "Not to men who plan carefully." Adrian didn't respond. Planning had never been his problem. He had drawn maps, drafted budgets, triple-checked calculations. What he hadn't planned for was corruption that moved quietly. Sitting in rooms where papers are signed with one hand while the other empties accounts, ultimately killing projects before they even take ground. He adjusted his grip on the suitcase and walked toward the village path. Old Landu watched him walk deeper into the village. "The river remembers the young man who left, and we do too." Adrian didn't look back and kept walking like a man determined to overcome this walk of shame. The house stood where he left it, just beyond the bend, cement walls dulled by sun and seasons, the metal gate leaning slightly to one side. He had built it with pride, brick by brick, a promise set in concrete. Proof that leaving the town had not meant abandoning it. The key still turned. The door creaked open, releasing the smell of dust and time. Inside, the house felt smaller than he remembered. A lizard darted across the floor. Cobwebs trembled in the corner. Adrian placed his suitcase on the kitchen table before he sat, knees pulled close. His phone buzzed in his pocket, another message from Kinshasa. But he didn't check it. Whatever waited for him there could wait longer. "I'm home," he whispered, unsure who he was saying it to. The words felt fragile, like something that might shatter if spoken louder. As the sun dipped low, Adrian followed familiar paths toward the riverbank. Women gathered with buckets balanced easily on their sides. Children waited nearby, restless, shifting from foot to foot. "Mama Chantal." Adrian greeted a lady from the town, forcing steadiness into his shaky voice. She looked at him, then past him, her face unreadable. "The water doesn't come like it used to," the woman said. Adrian frowned. "What do you mean?" She let out a short laugh, sharp and humorless. "You built the system, Adrian. You tell me." A boy tugged at her dress. "Mama," he complained, "my stomach hurts." Something tightened in Adrian's chest. He crouched, examining the pipe that once fed water to this part of the village. Dry. Silent. He remembered the first day water had run through it, how people clapped, how he had been so proud of his accomplishments. "I will take a look at it," he said, though the words felt thin. As evening approached, Adrian sat alone by the river. The water caught the fading light, steady and indifferent. He remembered sketching the water distribution system years ago beneath one of the many mango trees in his hometown. He was so full of confidence back then, certain that good intentions were enough. "Oh God, I thought I was doing the right thing by leaving for the city," he spoke quietly. "But now, what do I do? He couldn't finish speaking his thoughts in this quiet moment of prayer and reflection. He sat in silence, looking at the river continuing in its way. Footsteps approached behind him. Adrian? He turned. Mimi stood there. She looked older, wearier, but grounded in a way that unsettled him a bit. Her eyes held stories he hadn't been part of. For a moment, neither of them spoke. "Welcome back," she said at last. Adrian opened his mouth. Closed it. Tried again. Nothing came. She followed his gaze toward the village. "You should see what they've been dealing with," she added softly. She hesitated, then finished the sentence. "Since you left."